It's John Boden. It's more artists who died without a lot of fanfare. This is Rock History Book. Remember, if you want to donate to the channel, there's a PayPal link at the very top of every single one of our videos. And there's also a Patreon link if you want to get early access to our videos. And we have a swag store where you can buy all kinds of clothing with our logo on it. Check it out. Ever since we started this series, we found that it was incredibly important because sometimes news events overshadow the death of a rock and roll star. Remember, the news, at least the one at 6 o'clock, usually only has an hour. And if crap goes down in the world, they're going to cover that first. So this series has done incredibly well for us, and we're going to continue doing it. And remember to look in the description for the other parts of this series so you can check them out. But if we don't cover an artist that you love that really was slipped under the rug when they passed away, let us know. We'll do a dedication to them. In some cases, some of the artists that we're going to do today, the 10 artists, we're going to do whole videos on the individual acts. And we have some special guests on this video that are going to talk about some of the people who have passed away. Rush producer Terry Brown will be on here. An interview we did with him just a few months ago. Mark Stein of Vanilla Fudge, the lead singer, the keyboardist. Frankie Banali of Quiet Riot. We lost him a little while ago, but we had an interview with Frankie a few months before he passed away. And rock photographer Christian Trieber, who has toured with The Who, took pictures of Led Zeppelin, Badfinger, George Harrison, a whole bunch of other people. He will be talking about our subject in this video today. John Rutsey of Rush. He passed away at 55. Rutsey was the original drummer for Rush before being replaced by Neil Peart. He played on their debut album, which includes Working Man. Rush producer Terry Brown talks about going from John Rutsey to Neil Peart.
I mean, John, I enjoyed working with John, but of course his health didn't allow him to continue. And but he was not the drummer that Neil was, obviously. I mean, he was a rock drummer, plain and simple. Certainly was more than adequate. Lovely guy, but it was destiny. Was not. He wasn't meant to be in the band.
He died on May 11, 2008, from a heart attack related to complications to his diabetes, which is one of the reasons he left Rush. Pete Ham of Badfinger. He was 27. Ham was the lead singer and guitarist for Badfinger, co-writing hits like No Matter What and Day After Day. Here's former Badfinger photographer Christian Trieber talking about Pete Ham.
And when we asked him to go out to dinner with us, Pete insisted on paying the bill. He says, I'll go out with you for dinner, but I'll pay for the bill. When you become rock stars, talking to my friend, he says, then you can take me out to dinner, you can pay the bill. But that's the way he was.
Unspoiled is I think one of the nicest compliments you can say about somebody.
Yeah, I often wonder what would have happened if basically all the touring and stuff, which was a really hard thing to do, and it took its toll on all the members of the group.
Was Pete he seemed like a very introspective kind of deep thinker, curious brain kind of guy.
Yeah. I would say very much like in some ways Taylor Swift, a lot of his songs came from relationships that he had with different women. Many of his stuff came from that. Wrote about what he knew.
He committed suicide on April 24th, 1975, following financial struggles from major managerial issues. Tom Fogerty of Creedence Clearwater Revival. He was 48. Fogerty was the rhythm guitarist from CCR, contributing to hits like Proud Mary and Bad Moon Rising. He died of AIDS-related complications on September 6, 1990. Creedence Clearwater Revival were easily one of the biggest bands of the late 60s and early 70s. Danny Whitten of Crazy Horse. He was 29 years old and was Neil Young's guitarist in that famous band, contributing to albums like Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere from '69 and After the Gold Rush in 1970. His most famous song, a tune that was recorded by many, but most notably Rod Stewart and Everything But the Girl. I Don't Want to Talk About It. He died of a heroin overdose on November 18, 1972. His death was largely overshadowed by major political events at the time concerning Richard Nixon and the Vietnam War. Kevin DuBrow of Quiet Riot. He died at 52. DuBrow was the lead vocalist for Quiet Riot, best known for their hit Come On and Feel the Noise, which became the first heavy metal song to top the pop charts. Just a few months before Quiet Riot drummer Frankie Banali passed away in August of 2020, we talked to him about Kevin DuBrow.
The first time that Kevin came to see me, specifically came to see me play, with a notion to ask me to work together with him was January 31st of 1980, and he came to this club I was playing at. And afterwards, we bellied up to the bar, and, we started talking about music. And he goes, do you like Spooky Tooth? And I said, are you kidding? I love Spooky Tooth. And he goes, there's this song. And I immediately said to him, the Beatles version of I Am a Walrus. He goes, yes, and he said, that's a song that someday you and I have to record. And this is 1980. And fast forward to 2006 when we recorded the Rehab album, the last album that Kevin was on, we recorded Evil Woman. I mean, it came full circle. And that's one of the reasons that I was attracted to Kevin and he to me. And one of the reasons we have such a strong bond is because we really were fans of music and a specific type of music.
He died of a cocaine overdose on November 25th, 2007. Despite his band's massive success in the 1980s, his death was kind of unreported. Ronnie Lane of the Small Faces and the Faces, he was 51. Lane was a founding member of both those bands, contributing significantly as a bassist and songwriter, especially on the track Itchy Coo Park and Lazy Sunday. He passed away on June 4th, 1997 due to complications from multiple sclerosis, a disease he had battled for nearly 2 decades. Tommy Bolan of Deep Purple and the James Gang, he was 25. Bolan was a talented guitarist known for his work with Deep Purple and the James Gang, particularly on Deep Purple's Come Taste the Band from '75. He died of a heroin overdose on December 4th, 1976. His death was largely overshadowed by the band's declining popularity. Here's Mark Stein, keyboardist and vocalist of the band Vanilla Fudge, who was also in the Tommy Bolan band, talking about his old friend.
I wasn't surprised, but obviously I was shocked when you hear something like that. I mean, 25 years old with the incredible talent this kid had. I mean,
where do you think he'd be now?
I think he would have been in the pantheon of. He's gone like over 45 years, and it's not a day that goes by that you don't see something on him on social media. It's as if he's still here. I think he would have been. I can't imagine all the great albums he would have put out. Yeah. I can't imagine all the great collaborations he would have had. I can't imagine the super groups he would have been a part of over the decades. And I would have hoped to have been in a band with him down the road.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
I would have loved to, and it would have been great because we got on great. We were really good friends. And in fact, there was a time when I tried to help him get rid of some of those demons, but the more you try and help somebody like that, the more they want to separate themselves from you, the more angry they get, and that's kind of what happened between us, and that's probably one of the reasons I left the band. It's kind of hard to deal with. So
there's a lot of stories about young, talented rockers like Tommy Bolan, who is extremely talented guitarist. He was on tour with Jeff Beck, and he overdosed at the age of 25. And you just think, wow, what more could he have accomplished,
So remember, if you want to make a PayPal donation, you sure can. We'd appreciate it because YouTube's income has been all over the road for not only us, for a lot of YouTubers, and a lot of YouTubers are quitting. If you want to make a donation, there's a PayPal link at the very top of the description. And if you join our Patreon, you'll get early access to our videos, and it'll help us out an awful lot. And speaking of helping us out, you can buy a t-shirt or a cap or a coat with our logo on it. We've made a deal with Teespring where you can buy good quality t-shirts and clothing. The link is in the description. And if you subscribe, make sure you click the bell notification. You'll never miss a video, hopefully. Like our videos, comment on them, and share them on social media. I'm John Bowden. This is Rock History Book. Take care of yourself. And thanks for watching.